I'm Johanna Kitchell, Orchestra Director at Riverside Junior High in Fishers, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Lani. I'm one of the orchestra directors at Alamo Heights Junior School in San Antonio, Texas. And today we're going to talk a little bit about accessories and supplies and what you should recommend your students to get at the start of the year. So I really like to recommend all my students to get a tuner, because I know if they have a tuner, I can use it pedagogically in class, and I can also make sure that they're tuning their instruments at home. So there's a lot of types of tuners out there. I really like the ones that clip on the instrument, because sometimes the ones that don't clip on the instrument, if they start to learn how to tune with the bow, they might drop it because their hands are doing so many different things. There's also a tuner that will stay on the shoulder of the instrument while the student is playing, so they don't need to worry about putting it up. And I really like it because you can also use it while you're teaching in the classroom. Another thing that every student needs, of course, is rosin. What I recommend for my younger students is to buy a rosin that has a casing in it, because it's a lot easier to handle and use. So this is actually light rosin. I recommend light rosin for my upper strings players because it doesn't grip as much, so it creates a cleaner tone. And for my lower string players, I recommend dark rosin, because the dark rosin has a bit more of a grip, and since the string is thicker, it has a better pull.
Other supplies that your students are going to need, they're going to need a cloth to clean their instruments. It's so important to keep instruments clean. Rosin creates a dust that's going to get not only all over their strings, but also all over the face of the instrument. We recommend that students clean their instruments basically every day, including the face and then along the strings as well. A microfiber cloth works out really well. They're washable, they're really durable. I keep a supply in my classroom, but you can use any cloth that you'd like. Students also need to have a good quality set of strings. If your students are cleaning their strings regularly, they'll last for a long time, but they should make sure that they have a great string that's going to sound good on each instrument. And it's important, even though it is a big investment in classrooms, to replace strings regularly. I know a lot of teachers are concerned about the cost, but it makes a huge difference when you're performing and when you're rehearsing in your classrooms to have good quality strings and replacing them at a good time. Some specific things that students need for different instruments. So with violin and viola.
Definitely, they might need a shoulder rest. So there are so many different types of shoulder rests out there that I really do think it needs to be on an individual basis. I always recommend a few brands for my students, and then what I will do is I will send them to the music stores after I talk to the music stores to make sure that they help my students size them out according to their neck. So clearly, I have a really long neck, so I had to improvise a little bit for my shoulder rest, but I think it's really important to find something that is comfortable for each student so they really enjoy performing on their instrument.
And for cello bass, our extra supplies are all about keeping our instrument steady. So cellos need to have a strap that's going to keep their instrument steady and secure. This end is going to attach to the chair. This end is for their instrument. And it's so important that cellists understand that they adjust the length of the strap, not the length of their end pin. Adjusting the length of the end pin is going to change their setup, which is not something we want, but they should adjust the strap to fit their cello. For basses, there's a spot that they should have. It goes right on the floor, and their end pin's going to sit right in that cup. That also protects the floor, so if you're performing, say, in a gymnasium, your PE teachers aren't worried about digging holes into the floor with their end pins, but that spot's gonna help keep the bass steady so it doesn't slide away from them as well. And at the very minimum, these are the sorts of accessories you need to have a successful string classroom.